Yeah, so right into action as you said. So we're gonna jump in. It's gonna be a best of five finals, KJJ against Warspite. Loading up the game, switching into the in-game scene. So here we are. Um, and we can see the matchup. So it's gonna be KJJ with the Delhi against Warspite with the Ayyubids on coastal cliffs. So take a look at the map. So KJJ spawning on the left side here, putting down the mosque immediately, followed by the mill. So standard Delhi stuff so far. A little bit on wood, just to make sure that you have enough wood for house and mill, mill, gold pit
Yeah, and
mine,
then yes, yeah, the what's it called?
mining camp.
The mining camp. There we
Why
go.
why am
We
I
got it.
pit mine? Where's the pit mine here? Like, oh man, okay, I need to get back into this. It's been a long day so far, but we're gonna push through. Those players have been playing for a long time as well, so we're all exhausted, but we're here to have fun. Ayyubids on the berries immediately, also going on gold right now, of course, so nothing too crazy here from either player. So coastal cliffs, just to mention. There is deep sea fish, but it's not accessible because of the coastal cliffs, hence the name. Um, uh, Nice map here by Avely.
Yeah. Nice aggro map too, especially in this matchup. Like you said, I don't think this game's gonna go too long,
Mhm.
especially in this kind of Delhi versus a Ubid matchup. Now, in terms of the gold spawn, immediately as I noticed for Warspite, the two golds are not too. I mean, if you were KJJ and you were the Ubid player, I mean, they're still together, but
Mhm.
there's one spot that you can defend. There's two goals on either side that Delhi can put pressure on. Now we're gonna see what KJJ goes with, Tower of Victory or Dome, but depending on which one he goes with, it might be a little different. The other thing is food. So for Warspite, and especially in this matchup, right, you're probably not gonna have map control the whole game,
Mhm.
or at least in some parts of the early game, as you try to get your way to castle. The deer pack and the berries are out front, and you only have one back berry. Now, depending on what he goes with, of course, in terms of the wing, we might get a little extra food, but it's still a tough position if you're under pressure from Delhi.
Yeah, it is a pretty tough position, and he is splitting up his villagers, so that could indicate that he will move into. Okay, he's going for the economic wing. Yeah, so that is gonna grant him 50 additional food per ore card here. So
Mm.
looking for the growth wing first. Um, I mean, I would say pretty standard opener for Ayyubids. And in terms of, yeah, we do have the Dome of the Fate. I was kind of expecting the Tell Victory just because of playing against Ayyubids. It's kind of nice to have the
Mhm.
bonus on your archers, on your spearmen if you need that. But Dome of the Fate, awesome landmark. Really good to put up some early pressure on the sacred sites because you have more scholars available. They're pretty much dead even in the middle. One on the left, one on the right side. So maybe even could look for some aggressive walling here to just really secure most of the map for yourself. But we're gonna see. Moved away from gold. Only two villages on gold right now, which is gonna be enough to get the discounted scholars.
Right. It used to be three, I think, before, but they like recently, like you said, the Dome of Faith. Now you can have those scholars a little bit cheaper. So two villagers on that gold is plenty.
Yeah.
And like you said, Tower of Victory would be useful, of course, especially you're gonna have what's it called? Raiders from the
Hmm.
Ayyubids.
Yeah.
So the of course for Delhi Ghazis and Tower of Victory archers are kind of like the ultimate counter to the Desert Raiders. But there's one other thing for Dome of Faith. Of course, you're gonna get those sacred sites a little bit quicker if you're focused on that. The other thing is you're gonna be able to get that professional scouts a little quicker. You don't need to go for the second mill like you would in Tower of Victory build because your scholars are going to be able to get those eco upgrades pretty quick. So you can actually try to look to steal those deer both of the deer
Right.
for Warspite slow forward. So if you lose those deer, and I mean, you don't really have any food at that point, and it'd be like a really, really tough position.
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine you're Ayyubids, you're going for fast castle, and then you have to go for a heavy farm transition while Delhi is already at 6 minute counter for the sacred sites. That would suck pretty bad. Don't Fate
Exactly.
also making sure so like provides all the tags, and so you don't have to go for a second mosque. Which yeah again also frees up some resources. So yeah, you don't get the bonus that you will get from Tower of Victory, but at the same time, if you're going into Mass Ghazi Raiders, you don't get the bonus anyway from the Tower of
Mhm.
Victory, and you get the Scholars for cheaper, 65 instead of 130. Did scout out the outpost here on gold, so even though there's not a whole lot of villages right now on gold, kind of looks definitely as like a fast castle play here for the Ayyubids. Stable is out there, Desert Raiders coming up. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
cost
mean,
him a bit.
you can't really do a kind of a naked fast castle, especially in this situation, 'cause you got to secure some food. But then you go into the situation where you're in feudal with Delhi, and like you said, if you're gonna go mass Ghazis, which KJJ is more than willing to go, is happy to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a stable from Warspite, you got some Desert Raiders. Now the one thing I was thinking about while he's building the tower is that maybe if he built the other side, maybe you can secure some of that deer with a little bit of a push.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like you might want to. One thing about that tower position is that I think it's under TC. So if you have a huge, massive Ghazi's kind of diving in, which I feel like inevitably is going to happen, at least a little. One side is under
Yeah,
TC. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a little bit secured here with the tower. So overall, I like the positioning. Also, if the Ghazi Raiders come in from the left, the villagers don't have a long distance to get into the tower. So
Hmm.
overall, a good placement here for the tower. Securing the left side here with a little wall here. So um, let's take a quick look at what they see. Okay, so he walled off the left side, and then he has a tower there, and so he could only be surprised on the right side, but then there's no resources here at all besides the berries in the back.
Hmm.
So overall, Warsp1te looking good so far. 6 on stone at the moment. So yeah, kind of looking
Now,
for a Castle Age macro here.
now, like I mentioned, actually, even with the Dome of Faith, KJJ actually went for the second mill on his berries, so that he's going to get that extra uh,
Mm,
speedy survival techniques, not survival techniques, pro scouts.
Pro
So
scouts.
it's almost even 40 seconds, and it's going to be done. While he's probably going to make a few more scholars anyway, so he might even more be quicker. And then he's going to look to kind of get those deer. Now, the only thing Warspite has right now is Desert Raiders, and you know KJJ is just massing up those Ghazis from one stable too, because you can have that scholar in there you can pump. So I don't, it's kind of a tough position for Warspite to be in, just because of matchup and spawn and everything else.
Yeah, it definitely is a tough matchup, and you can see the scholar here providing a little bit of support here with healing up. Although the numbers here not in favor for KJJ, needs to retreat on the left side for now. Is able to take the first sacred side on the right side. Losing a scholar here, but that's not a huge damage to his eco just because they're so much cheaper. So is gonna be able to push away here at least for the time being. Warspite's army. He probably would want to go into a little bit more, a couple more scouts to really make the pro scout play work. But
Hmm.
yeah, definitely has all the upgrades now in order to achieve that. And so as soon as he's cleaning up this army here, he will move out to the deer, and then yeah, once you're restricting your opponent from having any food on the map besides yeah the berries that are running out now, uh, Delhi is looking fine.
Yeah. And we didn't really touch upon it, but I think KJJ actually got more sheep than Warspite in addition
Mm.
to it. So let's remember that Ghazis are actually faster than the Desert Raiders. So especially in that early fight, it looked like the Desert Raiders were doing great. But then the moment a few more Ghazis show up, the retreat's not going to be really feasible. So you're going to lose a lot
Mm.
more Desert Raiders, which is kind of what happened eventually, right? So I mean, it looks pretty even here, but remember that you're gonna have two sites secured, and this is not a tower of victory if you hold and you're fine kind of situation. This is dome, so you're gonna have more and more scholars, and the moment they age up, you know, it's gonna be multiplied by the advantages in terms of those upgrades coming in quick. And like you said, the Ghazi play for for KJJ, Warspite is going with the mobile horseman desert raider play, and you can theoretically just go mass Ghazis. Now KJJ has a what's it called, a barracks for some spearmen, but that's kind of a personal choice. Just I think he wants to wall up those things eventually, and also just have a nice double counter unit for both of the units that Warspite's making, because it's hard.
Yeah, especially because so Warspite was adding some horsemen, and the horsemen, even though they have a little bit less health than the Ghazis, they still do kind of well against them, especially because of the camel unease that you get
Mm.
by having the Desert Raiders. And so in order to get something against the horsemen, spearmen are definitely a good choice. And then also, as you mentioned, spearmen being infantry units, they can actually wall it off. So if he would want to wall it off, he could do so. He took the two sacred sites now, so time is ticking. And yeah, he went
Yeah, I mean,
into four scouts. So yeah, he definitely now is moving heavily into getting the deer here. Warsp1te was looking for a tower here, but he cancelled that apparently. So might not be able to prevent that actually from happening. Also, there's no mill here, so
yeah.
needs to do something else here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really difficult to protect the deer, to try to contest the site, because KJJ also has a mobile army. Those Ghazis can be running around, and let's remember there's two, what's it called, stables at this point. So
Mm.
after the initial few scouts that KJJ makes just to get those deer, he's just going to keep pumping Ghazis, because why not, right? And we actually see the age up happening. And it's gonna be House of Learning.
Yeah, House of London coming up. No real surprise here, and Spearman in the front on the right side, walling off. Needs to be careful because Desert Raiders coming in again. So needs to have some more Ghazis here, retaking the sacred side right now. Because he lost that one, so actually Warspite was able to decap the one, which is very important, and resetting the timer here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Warspite's also going up. Of course, it's kind of hard for the,
Yeah.
yeah, but they're both going up. But at this point, it's just difficult for Warspite to do much. Now he was able to kind of not allow KJJ to get the deer. I don't know how many of them he was able to steal. I think the top deer pack is trying to get him, but
Yeah, you got a couple, and then on the right side here as well, I think so.
yeah. And we'll see what KJJ goes with. Of course, you can go knights right now, and then also go maybe even elephants or something like that. He does seem like he just wants to go for spearmen, those castle spearmen, which makes sense, right? Because Warspite's a lot of desert raiders and some horsemen. Warspite also goes with the what's it called, the relic dervish wing, right? It's just to get those relics a little quicker. But Delhi has those scholars, and is probably going to start picking them up. He's got 1, 2 relics, and he's probably working for the other ones.
Yeah, he's looking for the fifth one. He's on the way to the fifth one. He'll gonna grab that one here right now, and then he will potentially, if he can make it out alive, a little bit of a pathing issue here for the last scholar here. So that unfortunately will be picked off. But KJJ will have 4 relics to his name, so that's gonna be really nice for him. On top of the 2 sacred sites, that's a lot of passive gold income. So he still has 2 on gold, 2 villagers on gold, and then a lot of passive gold income. So right side almost walled off now completely.
Yeah. Yeah, we do get a decap for one of them, but like you said, it's just going to be more and more advantage for KJJ. We used to an elephant on the field. We got a fight.
Yeah, and Spearman against Spearman action, but it's only feudal age Spearman for now because it just takes a while to get the upgrades in. So Delhi needs to retreat actually right now.
The actually spearman upgrade, the barracks that has a spearman upgrade does not have a scholar in there, so that's why it's taking extra
Yeah.
long. Normally for a Dome of Faith build, it shouldn't take that long, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the scholar inside, and so that's why it takes longer.
But I mean, one elephant's doing work, right?
Yeah. Well, then also the thing is like, we're looking at 10 scholars, and so as soon as he can take a couple of them to the front, as long as he doesn't lose any of those, he can always heal it up again, which the dervishes can also do, to be fair, but he already lost one dervish actually. I don't know where and when,
I
but
think probably doing fire or trying to contest the relics. But I mean, like you said, it's kind of a feels bad moment because Warsp1te aged up with the dervish wing, and the relic situation is not great.
no, no, definitely not. And usually you wanna get all the relics if you're doing a fast castle dervish play. But since KJJ was already going to castle up as well and already had a lot of scholars on the field, was able to get a lot of relics. Warsp1te in turn did go for a second TC now, so he's gonna go get ahead with his eco fairly soon.
Yeah, that's true. But the one thing is that this is House of Learning, and the upgrades are slowly coming in. We're gonna have the honed blade soon, and KJ is actually going pretty heavy into the infantry comp, as in men at arms and some spearmen mixed in there, and that could be very tough for just a straight up fight, especially if you're trying to hold the um, defend your base with 2 TCs.
Mm.
And KJJ with the 10 military advantage, and a lot of these, we got 12 men at arms on the field, so they're not, cheap units. Of course, Delhi units can wall, so you can always secure this right side. Uh, he's adding a few more walls. I think the idea is the spawn is very nice. The wood lines in the middle is very nice to completely wall off the right side, and then you can just focus on the middle and the left side, kind of put pressure on that left side with your entire military, basically.
I was about to mention KJJ's eco and his resources and how much was
Oh
floating,
my
and was
goodness.
like, is he gonna go up for imp? Is he gonna really go, quote unquote, be that greedy? And he actually is going up with the Palace of the Sultan. So, kind of a
Yeah, I think
fast
he's gonna.
imp play for him. Very interesting to see. He lost one of the sacred sites again, but that's not really his main focus right now. And
Mhm.
going up to imp with the Dome of the Faith, with so many scholars getting the upgrades a lot faster, is actually going to provide a lot of benefits for him.
I mean, yes, I think he's getting enough stone for a keep just to kind of defend, and he actually has a decent military to be able to hold. Now he doesn't have that many scholars to be able to kind of get those upgrades decently quick, I would say, for a Delhi imp. But I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Eventually, you're gonna get those upgrades, and it's just a huge advantage for you as a Delhi player. But it is a little risky. It's always risky when you're going, 16-minute, 17-minute imp as Delhi.
Definitely, yeah. And Warsp1te picking off a lot of villagers here on the front, where the berries are at. So very nice pick off here. 7 dead villagers so far. So overall, not too many villagers being killed in the whole game. But that's definitely gonna be a nice pickup. And now he's attacking the palace of the Sultan, trying to get onto that. And some.
Yeah, it's not ideal because he's probably. I mean, I don't see how you can defend that landmark at this point. You have 1 elephant, some good amount of men at arms. Although the men at arms would do a lot of work, the spearman from Warsp1te is probably going to melt. So actually, you might be able to hold. I'm pretty amazed at how this is working out.
Yeah, at the same time he is bleeding a lot of units, and so now insufficient wood, so he can't further repair it. And more units streaming in for Warsp1te. So in theory, Warsp1te looking better than KJJ here, having a lot more military on the field. Mind you, also, so like from those 28 military units, 10 of them are scholars, and so not really having a lot of units here. A couple of hand cannoneers being added to the mix by Delhi. So that's gonna be nice to see, as well as finally the Tower Elephant coming out.
Yeah, that one tower elephant is going to be pretty huge. And then a few, like you said, hand cannons. Now, I was wondering where the keep was, and actually it's in the middle just to secure some stones. So he's just probably going to get some keeps up on the other side, and then while he's defending, he's trying to get that keep up
Yeah, he's
on his
getting
own
one in
base.
the back here, but that's not gonna be a good place. Not gonna be a good place to put down your keep. Well, at least for now. I mean, at some point it will be good, but first you need to clean up your house first. So
Yep,
it's gonna
exactly.
push down Warsp1te a little bit.
Yeah. Now the other thing is the Type Barn is going to be pretty important for KJJ. He's going to get a huge amount of value for that. Kind of what's it called? Equate the villager difference, because Warsp1te is on 2 TCs, but it feels like KJJ might have gone a little too forward. Might be an overextension, but it looks like he's able to pull back relatively okay.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension here, not really having a front line except for this one war elephant. So definitely would need to have some more of those, or some more men-at-arms. I mean, he did go into the whole plate, so he could definitely go for some more, yeah, either lancers or men-at-arms, basically units that benefit from the home plate.
Yeah, KJJ is going for a keep, both a very aggressive keep on the berries.
Ooh,
And I think he's going to be able to get that up, because that's a lot of villagers, 15 villagers on that keep. And yeah,
wow.
I think that's game.
Wow, that is game.
The combination of being able to defend relatively well with the 2 elephants and hand cannoneers, and also to be able to get those 2 keeps up, especially the forward keep, is basically game, right? You have to kill Delhi when they go imp like that, and kind of, Warsp1te just wasn't in a good position. He was trying to get that second TC up, but you need some time for that to kick in. And then when Delhi goes imp, you basically have that window, is you got to kill Delhi, right?
Yeah, you got this, like, depending on how many scholars the opponent has, it's like 5 to 15 minute window basically, where you can try to kill them, and if you don't manage to do that, and the war elephant, the tower elephants start streaming out of the Sultan's palace, it's not gonna be a fun game for you. Unless you have a couple of bombards out there, which is kind of hard to do in Castle Age.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the funny thing is, in this matchup, Delhi can do like 4 different things to be able to put itself in a good position. You can go Tower Victory, you can go super aggro, you can go Tower Victory, you can go, and then you can go into the Tower Victory plus House of Learning men at arms. You can go into what KJJ did basically is a fast imp situation. So there's so many different things you can do, and I mean on this small map, it's just really tough for Ayyubids to do much, because that comp is usually pretty good against night civs, against civs that want to go a lot of archers, because you have that mobility advantage, and you can put pressure and age up behind it and stuff like that. But in this matchup, you can go a lot of Ghazis, and the other thing is, because the map is kind of condensed, the mobility advantage is not as important, especially because the other player, the Delhi player, also has some mobility, right? You can wall up, you can focus on different things. And so it's just kind of difficult for Ayyubids in this matchup on that map, particularly, I think.
So KJJ this time with the holiest of the Roman empires in orange against Warsp1te playing the Malians.
Oh yeah. What is Warsp1te and these gold spawns?
Oh my, yeah, that is terrible. Like the first gold is like way in the front already, and then the next one is even further out. So as long as he does have the aggression and the map control, he'll be fine. But just imagine they would have swapped the places, because HIE
Yeah.
has some very nice 3 spawns, gold spawns, basically in the back of his base, you could say,
Yeah.
and very easily wallable as well because of the wood lines there.
The wood
So,
lines, yeah.
oh my, that
That's been
is.
a common theme. KJJ with the very wallable wood lines and
Mhm.
some tough goals for Warsp1te. Now, in addition, there's also the barracks place, so it's
Mhm.
that Spearman's going to get there really, really quick. I don't know if, let's see if Warsp1te gets this.
He just barely missed it so far, so he could
Yeah, that's
he could scout it if he turns around just a little bit. But for now, at least he missed that. So KJJ did scout all around the base for now, so he did find the first gold. Yeah, he did
no.
find
The
that.
thing is, he's not. He's only building 4 houses, and he went right back. So he might be able to. I don't know what he's planning. He might be doing a barracks of his own to defend, because it doesn't look like a fast Egypt kind of play. So maybe he's just expecting it, based on sometimes when you're playing the opponent, how your opponent scouts could also be some indication, even if you don't see it directly. And he actually, Warsp1te actually went behind KJ's base, so you might be able to see that as well. Now, well, of course, now you know because the Spearman's here, right?
Yeah, yeah, now he knows. So I think he might have seen it, but by now he definitely knows about it. And there's the barracks coming up, so Donzos should be fine dealing with the spearman.
Mhm. Yeah, the other thing about the barracks play for Warsp1te is that a lot of times HRE likes to go the spearman and maybe go men at arms right afterwards because you already have a barracks. And if you have a barracks for Warsp1te, you can immediately go for the Mustafadi's enfilades, right? Because they do well against spears and they, of course, demolish men at arms. But we'll see. It's still a tough defense because the goal is so forward. Everything you queue for KJJ is there immediately, so it's just kind of hard. You need that time. We do have a tower, I think, coming forward.
Yeah, so KJJ is going to look for a tower here, putting some more aggression here. And the thing is, like, you're having this one spearman and not really having the eco to go for a lot more. Warsp1te didn't even go for multiple Donzos as of yet. Now he has one more in queue. So he thought that maybe he could just push away one or two spearmen of your opponent. But KJJ is going really aggressively into the whole game here. 5 spearmen and then a tower rush as well. And I mean, I'm not blaming him. If you look at those 2 gold spawns and you scouted the base, you know where the gold is at. You know there's 1 gold in the back, but that's it. Like, of course you go for a tower rush. You deny all that gold from your opponent. Of course, it's not going to be enough to prevent the feudal age. So Warsp1te will be able to get up to feudal age, and then he can put down the pit mine somewhere else as well. But just some massive damage to Warsp1te's early on eco here, with torching the house, torching the mining camps, the pit mine.
Yeah.
Also, by the
I
way,
mean,
potentially housing Warsp1te as well, because if
yeah.
you're losing one more house, he needs to build the houses somewhere else, which, yeah, doesn't feel great as as Malians.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, thinking about what would be the right thing to do in this situation is, I mean, the what's it called? The tower rush is going to come, I think. I don't know if it was going to be necessarily a tower rush, but the barracks was going to come regardless of what the spawn was. Because I think KJJ just directly, that's kind of what you do. You kind of put down the barracks, you have that plan, and then you hope for the best in terms of spawn. And if you get a spawn like this, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But for Warsp1te, you have the 4 houses, and then you add a barracks, and it's kind of like the worst of both situations because you are forced to make a barracks in Dark Age, and you can't defend any of your things. So it's kind of like a lose-lose situation. Now, if you didn't have the barracks and you try to go to the fast age up, you might lose the mining camp or the pit mine, but you might be able to put a Saharan trade network or something like that, like a desperation kind of age up. Then you might be able to secure your forward gold position a little better. But we do see him immediately go for the other pit mine in terms of the housing, and he's going to age up with Monster Quarry. So he's going to have that a little bit of a eco help with that Monster Quarry. But the thing is, KJJ is actually getting that very fast age up for the Akanchapo on the double wood line. So this is probably going to be a feudal play, and it's going to be a very difficult one to stop because it's going to be a ton of wood income and a great position for KJJ right off the bat.
Yeah, at the same time, KJJ is moving on to stone right now, with 6 villagers total, so it actually looks like a second TC play for Holy Roman Empire here. So yeah, as you mentioned, like a very lose-lose situation here with you have to go for the barracks and then you still can't really defend it. Um,
Mhm.
and it just barely delayed KJJ in comparison to Warsp1te. And then if he would have forced the Monster Quarry, not the Monster Quarry, the Saharan Trade Network out of him, it would still feel kind of good. I mean, if your opponent has to go for the Saharan Trade Network, I take that.
Yeah.
I think that's great for you.
Yeah, I mean the only thing is, yeah, because this tower is so good in terms of double gold is the only thing that I would consider because you're not going to go for the barracks, you're going to go for the um, a fast age up into my Saharan Trade Network. Now, if it was only one gold and it was maybe to the side, it might be, like you said, a little bad, but I don't know. We'll see. Now, let's see. Was there a second TC happening, or was that
No,
just
no. So he just went for the arrow slits and then the
yeah?
fortify outpost. So he definitely wants to stay in this position. Um, I mean, with the
And you
Saharan
can't
Trade
blame him.
Network, it kind of depends on where he has to place it. If it's kind of like covering the first gold, but more inside of his base, then
Mm.
it's definitely a feels bad moment. If you can put
Yeah.
it some like potentially between the two golds, then it would be fine. But yeah, so we have the fortified outpost here, and now he's moving around. He knows where the second gold is, so he's trying to put some pressure there. Donzo numbers are looking good for Warspite, so he might be able to push that off at least until the archers arrive. So 2 archery ranges for KJJ at the moment, 4 more in queue, so 3 more. So yeah, that's gonna be a nice amount of archers. Dealing with the Donzo is fairly nice, or pretty
Yeah.
nice actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's just really difficult because KJJ is gonna have that, you know, decent amount of wood coming in really fast. And he's gonna have 2 archery ranges. You know, let's remember these infantry are pretty fast compared to other infantry. And you know, Warspite's on 1 pit mine. Like, there's nowhere else to get that second pit mine. You just cannot get the second. Even if it made sense to go for a pit mine right now, you just can't kind of situation. So
Yeah,
you know, Warspite won for a double archery range, so he's gonna pump those jabs out. But the thing is, 9 spears is great versus jabs because you know, those jabs need to extend a little forward to target those archers. But those spears are you really need to kind of micro those jabs on the archers, and it's kind of difficult in these numbers.
yeah, definitely. And then also the jabs, they cost a lot of gold as well, so
Hmm.
it's quite. Yeah, I mean, you force your opponent into going units that he otherwise would not like to go into, and
Hmm.
then you might turn it around, throw down a couple stables, come with some horsemen, and you completely obliterate everything that is in there. That is there.
Yeah.
So KJJ moving around the base right now, finding the villagers on the berries, is gonna find some nice kills there, is moving in, but Warsp1te also saw that happening, so only getting 1 kill there. Actually the first kill of the villager kill of the game here.
Mm. Yeah, but it's just kind of you know, Warspite's always going to be on defensive in this game. It's just kind of hard. Another thing about Malians, Unicomp and Feudal is that you just cannot raid, you know, because
Yeah.
you don't want to go Sofa, especially against HRE and those spears.
Hmm.
So you just can't raid. And if you can't raid HRE and they have that amazing income and you're on the defensive with 1 pit mine, it's just, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't feel great. And KJJ throwing down an outpost at his own gold is there with 9 villagers, looking close to Castle Age actually. So he did put down a lot of aggression now, trying to find some more damage as well. 1 more villager going down, so a little bit of an equal lead already, and now looking for Castle Age, while Warspite is miles away from going to Castle.
Yeah, and look at the you know, comfort in which KJJ is out on the deer. He's out on the gold. You know, of course he has that great wood income. He also got some farms coming in. Got more production. He's gonna go for the Regnus, so he's gonna get those you know, relics for that amazing income. And all the while, you have the same amount of military as your opponent, and you're all halfway in the castle. Your opponent's not even nearly close to it,
Mm.
and it's just by the way, you still have your tower up. So
Yeah, you still have the tower up. You didn't really need to heavily invest into that. Like besides the fortifications. And well, I mean, yeah, the thing is like the army value is in favor for the Malians, but looking from at the units themselves, uh, it doesn't really counter. Like besides the archers, it doesn't really counter what Holy Roman Empire has right now, and so you're fine with that. And now hitting Castle Age pretty soon, getting the relics, does feel good. Malians did go for a ram now, so they will reclaim their gold. But at the same time, yeah, you're hitting Castle Age. You're like, okay, this tower achieved everything that I wanted it to achieve. It might even still get a pickup from the Donzo here. And now he's moving out into the map, taking one of the relics there already. There's the second prelate, so going for the forward,
yeah,
facing relics first, very nice. Oh, two sheep still there. So yeah, that's
yeah.
just
I mean,
textbook play here for HIE with playing some very good aggression and then not over investing into army, finding the right time, aging up to Castle Age, getting the relics as well, while your opponent is still recovering from that first initial attack.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, right now is just gonna be an insane, both eco and tech advantage for KJJ. Is gonna be this is kind of the classic tower rush into fast casual situation. Now,
Mm-hmm.
with tower rushes, typically tower rush kind of puts the aggressive player behind, and that if you're able to defend against the tower rush or kind of counterplay it,
Yeah.
then the person being tower rush has the advantage, right? You can kind of counter push, you can do his own things. But in this situation, the spawn was so bad and the outcome was so bad that it's the classic a little aggro feigned attack into tech up kind of situation. And I mean, KG is going into a lot of men at arms right now. What is Warsp1te supposed to do? Make feudal Mustafadis against Castle Age archers? Or, it's
Yeah.
just kind of lose-lose situation.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's like I mean he kind of needs to look for Castle Age himself. He has enough food by now. He's lacking a little bit in gold, but he put down the second pit mine, or he's putting down the pit mine now. Uh, but I mean, as I'm saying that, he needs to cancel that.
Yeah.
Also, he left the battering ram here to die, so that's a huge investment that he's losing there. And now
Yeah.
he's just losing that gold again. Doesn't have the army numbers to contest that. Is behind 1H. Kind of like halfway there in terms of cow boom. But that is also kind of forward facing, so that also doesn't feel great. KJJ just diving the base right now. It's been like, okay, I'm Castle Age, I can do it, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, the KJ wants to prevent the age up from Warsp1te, and he has the tech and military advantage, so he's just going to dive here. He only has +1 ranged armor, and he's actually getting a second one, so he probably doesn't want to go too much. But this is already, slowing down Warsp1te quite a bit because his macro has been a little off in terms of not having enough gold.
Right. Yeah, I mean, of course, like attacks like that really throw off your macro, and that's one of the benefits of being aggressive is that you just throw off your opponent, and that's exactly what KJJ was able to manage here. A nice amount of javelin throws here, cleaning up the remaining archers, but of course, then again, also massively overkilling them.
Yeah.
There's a
Coming
grab line
against 2
Korra
relics.
coming up, but yeah, he's also losing villagers while he's building that. So again, delay. Very nicely done here by KJJ. More than half the eco for Malians is idle right now, and he's still only sort of winning the military fights. Still two
Yeah, I
archers
mean,
killing villagers in the back here on the gold. So this is brutal.
Yeah, like I said, KGG has not been touched. His eco hasn't been touched, and he's just kind of living his best life, getting 4. He's probably going to end up getting 5 relics.
Yeah,
In fact,
he
I think he
currently
has.
is taking the fifth one.
Yeah.
Now he's taking the sacred sites as well. Why not? So yeah,
His gold income's gonna be insane.
oh my goodness, yeah, he got 5 relics. So he doesn't even have the place. Well, he put down an outpost here, so he can put the relic inside the outpost.
There's
The,
so many relics, we don't know where to put them.
yeah, it's like first world problems for sure here for him. And so yeah, even though he kind of loses the fight here again, kind of. He's still totally fine because he got all the relics. He's taking the sacred sites for good measure. Now the castle age coming up, so gonna have some nice passive food income, and might be able to get back to his pit mines. But yeah, it's a very tough position and definitely an uphill battle for Warsp1te in this situation here.
Yeah, at least now you have that little bit of you know, food help. But like you said, there is no now. What's the civ advantage for Malians? Pit mines, right? And of course the cow boom. What's the civ advantage for HRE? The insane relics.
The relics.
Now the HRE has 5 relics. We don't have a full cow setup, and we don't have a second pit mine. We're just getting it, and normally the Malian player likes to have 3 pit mines by the time they're castles. You want to pump those, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Usually he would go for the 3rd pit mine by now, but he didn't even get the second up yet. It's just working on that right now. Men-at-Arms dealing with the Muzafaris. Again, not really great, but at the same time, due to the archers being there as well as support, getting onto the javelin throws, and as soon as that happens, they just club them to death.
Yeah. I think it might have been kind of good to kind of sneak away to try to get that pit mine on the far away gold, just because this gold is always going to be under pressure. So I feel like anything you build here immediately dies.
Yeah.
Especially in the situation where you're H2 and the HRE player is already H3. But I mean, it's difficult regardless because that opening gives so much tempo to the HRE player.
Yeah, really good opening for sure, and committing a little bit to the tower rush, but then just stepping off, going feudal, putting some more aggression on, then going for sort of fast castle. Some Landsknechts here in the mix as well, so as soon as they touch, anything else falls, and yeah, it's I'm really baffled by this amazingly bad gold spawn here for Warsp1te.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the fact it's not only forward, it's also like really like way in the path of your opponent. Like wherever he's rallying his units to, like
he checks all the goals.
He actually needs to get past both goals. So I mean, like,
yeah,
you can't even sneak like, okay, I got a minute to breathe, I can sneak in a pit mine. No, he got it out eventually. Like as soon as he comes back.
The rally point basically goes through 2 golds, but if you even adjust the rally point a little bit, you already checked the big gold anyway. So,
yeah.
Like I said, the only gold that you're able to even sneak is the left far away up top gold. But you know.
Yeah, but even that, I mean, it's so far out, and then you just need to pace a scout sometimes around the map, and you will eventually find it, and then you just send 2 spearmen there and torch everything down, so it doesn't really matter. Warsp1te is finding a couple of villager kills, so KJJ was going for the forward keep here. Unfortunately, got met by the Malian army. Is losing 4 villagers there, but he will still get up the keep a little bit slower than he would love to do. By the way, 3 relics also ticking sacred sites ticking away, so 8.5 minutes until he would achieve the sacred victory. But now he needs to scramble with his army because, yeah, as fun as the game was so far, Malians are fighting back now.
Yeah, actually, Warsp1te is doing a decent job just to try to hold, even with the overwhelming advantage that KJJ has. And just to give a sense of what kind of gold situation KJJ is working with, he has 0 on gold right now. He has 0 on gold right now. He has over 1,000 gold per minute, and Warsp1te has, you know, as many on gold as possible. And speaking of gold, Warsp1te actually ran out of his safe gold. So now what? You know.
Yeah, you can't get on this one anymore. So yeah, it's you have to rely on either your passive gold income or you have to try to get on the pitman in front, and that's not gonna happen. And so Warsp1te has to tap out. There's just no way.
Yeah. I think it was a brutal goal spawn, like you
Oof.
said, and because if you have a back goal spawn, you can actually make the barracks play work. You can actually punish the HRE player because by the time those spears are gonna arrive, you know, the what's it called? Donzos are going to be able to launch a few kind of throws,
Yeah.
get that health down. And if you're going to a Dark Age Spearfest with HRE, even though they're spears are not as slow or as normal, but they're still going to be able to, or going to need to kind of go all the way around. Then you can kind of mount a defense. But right now, every spear that's queued gets to the base in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Kills a pit mine, kills 4 houses. Now you're housed. You have 3 spears versus 5, and you know it
Yeah.
all goes
Also,
down here from there.
yeah, totally. Well, the thing is also, if you have the gold in the back, your opponent can't just rally his units to your resources. He has to go all the way around. That also costs some APM, and so it's just a
Hmm.
lot more difficult to
Yeah.
to get that done. And yeah, you can see the gold gathering here. It's just insane and skyrocketing here. Even though he probably went off gold at this point here, and
Yeah, he was not on gold the entire I think once he got 5 vills, he completely off gold, and it was
yeah.
a steady 1,000 over 1,000 gold per minute with 3 sites and 5 relics. It's just I don't know how what that equivalent in terms of eco is, but it's just insane.
So
Ooh.
for the next game, KGJ is gonna play the English against Roos, played by Warspite. So classic English Roos game on Gorge. So KGJ starting on the left side with English, Roos on the right side, immediately blueprinting the hunting cabin. Two actually, so one on the left side and one closer to his base. So he's gonna cover a nice amount of trees here. That's gonna help him get to Fuel Age and eventually to Castle Age pretty nicely.
All right. Are we in the game on the main thing, or
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Oh man, of course
might
not.
be my Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, I forgot to switch the screens. But yeah, as I was saying, hunting cabin. So one on this side, one here. So not overlapping here at all. Very nicely done here by Warspite, opening with 2 hunting cabins. And English moving on to gold. Pretty regular split so far. 7 on wood, on food, 2 on gold.
Mhm. Yeah, the handicaps are also pretty good. They don't interfere with each other. They're kind of right on the cusp,
Yeah.
so they're going to get the maximum amount of income as they can. Now, I don't know how KG is going to play it. Of course, there's the classic 2TC style. There's only 2 on wood, so I don't know what that. There's a few things that may signify, but we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit different opening here, but should still have a pretty good macro here in terms of fuel age. Warspite did open with 2 more scouts from the hunting cabin, so really looking to get all those sheep here. Is winning a little bit here in the race against the English scouts. So KJJ only opening with 1 scout.
Yeah, with I mean, even with the 1 scout, he's got 7 sheep right now, but it's just kind of difficult to 1 versus 3 is going to be hard. Now, English just doesn't need a ton of sheep, but you still want a decent number just to carry you through, especially because you're going to go with 2TC. It looks like, so we're moving out to stone. It's going to be a classic 2TC
Yeah.
English. versus Rus. Now Rus, you can do a kind of a fast castle situation, which seems to be the play in terms of the common play in this meta, especially with the Golden Gate, and we do see the Golden Gate coming up, so might be some type of fast castle. It could also be just kind of aggro, trying to get that put pressure on that second TC. But against English, feudal aggro is not usually really easy to do.
Yeah, so with all these scouts, he was actually able to get a lot of sheep, and so yeah, English, as you mentioned, wants to have enough sheep to get him through, not have to have an early farm transition, but then also playing against Rus, it's also kind of nice to get the sheep away from them, because all those sheep means quite a lot of gold for Rus, and so the more sheep you get, the more you restrict their gold income. You force them to maybe go on gold themselves, because right now, judging by the amount of sheep that Warspite was able to grab, it could very well mean that he doesn't have to touch his gold even until reaching Castle Age, which is quite nice if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is the Golden Gate's power, right? You can do a fast castle without gathering any gold. You don't even need a mining camp type situation. He's going up with 5 a lot on food, 5 on wood, so he's going to go for the, what's it called? The lumber camp and the tower, most likely. But I still don't know what Warspite's planning on doing. He might, just a straight fast castle or some pressure.
Well, he's looking for some pro scouts, so that's definitely his next move, which is no surprise if you're already having so many scouts. He was able to put down some pressure on the Abbey of Kings, but of course with only the scouts not able to find any villager kill here, and so the bonus that the Abbey of Kings provides, besides giving you a king, is also where it is. Oh, there it is. It's not even built yet. He can just put his villagers in the radius and they will slowly heal up, so it doesn't really matter that Warspite was able to put some pressure on there. This looks weird.
Yeah, it looks like KJJ is just looking for that spot. He deleted the mining camp. That spot's probably going to go for the TC. So he's going to have the TC and the Abbey of Kings over there. It's just kind of nice forward position to protect the gold, because that's kind of usually the only resource that you are needing to protect in this stage.
Yeah, so that's going to be really nice for him. King is moving out. Gonna scout the base pretty soon, so Golden Gate, no, you knew about that already. Some houses, a little bit of idle villages here, and not really any
A good
production
while,
right
actually. I don't know why. Maybe is he not seeing that? Maybe it's kind of a bug or situation. But those have been idle for a little bit. Oh, he notices now. He's gonna go for the lumber camp now.
Yeah, there it is, lumber camp. Doesn't have enough for the wooden fortress right now, because he went for the stable instead. So gotta open up with some knights against the king, while the scouts are transporting all the deer in. KGJ scouted that, so he might be able to kill off some scouts there.
Oh, the scout survives, which is important because you need those scouts just to get that deer as much as you can.
Oh yeah, you don't want to lose the scouts. 7 scouts, by the way, right now. So 3 scouts in the middle, taking the deer pack here. Then a couple ones on the left side, and that's almost it. I mean, there's one more deer pack on the left side, and then one more way in the back of the base of English, which you can still get to fairly easily without necessarily being scouted. And once he gets that, he is like, look at the macro. 1,000 food in the bank, 800 wood. So just a ton of gold that he got from there. Just a little more. He could even buy a little bit more food. Yeah, and now he's there. Yeah, there's the high trade house. Where's coming? Okay, in the back of the base. So good timing here for Warspite. A very nice fast castle play. into the classic English 2TC play. By the way, TC is idle here, or was idle at least for a little bit for KJJ. So not a massive lead, even though, yeah, he could be ahead quite a lot by now.
Yeah, I mean, Warsp1te is pretty well executed in terms of getting that timing, and this is an 8-minute timing with pro scouts, 8 something minute, of course, but
Mm.
KJJ has what 12 on gold. He doesn't nearly have enough food income, especially because he went for a horseman or 2 horsemen just to kind of put some pressure in. So I think Warsp1te's in a great position at this point because he can get those relics, and he's going double stable. So I assume he's just going to pump knights and you know have a good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the 2TC play didn't really put Warspite behind too much. So I mean, the fact that KJJ went for 2TCs. Um, so a couple villages, yeah, but it's not massive actually. And Scout
Yeah.
going down here for KJJ, so he's blindsided for now, for the time being. First night out there, and then there's also the castle age, so high trade house being built here.
Yeah, I think Warspite looked at the last 2 games and said, I am not going to be dependent on my gold spawn. I'm going to go roost. I'm going to build some cabins. I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to get some deer. And I'm going to age up and have a good time because I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have a bad gold spawn again. Now, you might be, the high trade house is giving a good amount of gold plus the cabins. But now he still needs to put some on gold just because he's going to, make a good amount of knights and get some upgrades, get a monastery, get some relics and stuff like that. But overall, it's still a good position to be in.
Yeah, I do wonder though. Okay, no, so it just I was wondering about the high trade house gold income, but it just went up. It was fairly low before, but so now that's also
Yeah.
getting quite a nice amount of gold income. So now he is moving to gold just to get a little bit more, a little bit more power behind his knights, a little bit more knight output there as well. Finally getting the double broad axe. I was kind of waiting for that actually.
Yeah, he's not very. We didn't get any gold, so I think Warspite just kind of used the gold to age up. Now he's kind of putting more on gold. He's putting a tower on his gold. Right now, he needs all the eco upgrades. He needs to queue warrior monks, and he's making double stable knights. So now he needs a good amount of gold. You can't just kind of rely on your passive gold on that. But he's still kind of getting that deer. He's got a lot of scouts. He's probably going for the opponent's deer at this point. KG is kind of defending his own pack, but eventually you might even snack a few of those deer as well. He's on stone. He might. I think what the plan is get some relics and then go for a second TC of your own. Basically, be in a good position with relics and keep up the villager count.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and the thing is also like, so he has 6 scouts. He could move in with the scouts and then take all the deer simultaneously, swoop in, take it, be
Yeah.
out. And there's not really a way for KJJ to defend that, unless he would go in there with his spearman maybe. Very defensive tower, white tower here coming up between the two town centers. Makes sense to protect them with the white tower. So good defensive
Yeah,
base
it's
here for KJJ. Switching that off, he usually played it very aggressively and now playing it more on a macro-focused defensive gameplay.
yeah. I mean, it's Rus versus English, right? I think he's just playing the kind of the correct decision in terms of correct playstyle, depending on the civ that he's playing. Now, English 2TC White Tower is obviously very, very strong, but English versus Rus can have a decent amount of options because how many relics? I think it's what one relic taken,
Yes.
2 relics on the way kind of situation, but he's also getting that second TC up. I don't know if he's going to go for the third TC or he's going to start making mass army. This is not the old patch, so you can actually go for a big siege push, which could be a good option for Warspite right now, especially because both the TC, the White Tower, and the Abbey is forward.
Yes.
So it could be a good damage, just kind of a big siege push.
Yeah, it's all in one line. So you basically get down to you get the Army of Kings down, then you get the second TC down, and then you move over to the White Tower if you want to. So you even could just do it with rams. So I think it would be really cool to see either like yeah, maybe just go into mass archers and then a couple rams and then just push forward. For now, he's totally content with just taking the relics. So he took 1, 2 are on the way right now. Um, so looking really good right now actually. And so one is way in the back of his base, the other one is kind of neutral, you could say. So he might as well end up with 5 relics, which
Yeah, he's
yeah,
going for that third TC. So 3 TC and a bunch of relics versus 2 TC White Tower, and these situations, English kind of wants to go for the King's Palace just to have that 3 TC boom for the English economy. But right now you kind of have to because your second TC and your landmarks forward, and it's just kind of an obvious position for the White Tower. So, but you said Rams sometimes just because of the White Tower and English kind of defensive advantages. A siege push with Trebs is actually just to, like you said, some archers, but he's going for some horse archers
horse
right now. I'm not.
archers,
I think just to kind of secure the. Oh, he gets caught. Some gold villagers down below gets caught just as he's going out as KJJ is pushing. Kind of unfortunate for KJJ. There's a good amount of vills went down. I don't know, was that 3, 4?
Yeah, so that's gonna be the 4th villager. So that's gonna be some nice find here for him. He did lose one of his scouts here as well in the front, but also KJJ also losing a little bit here. So it's pretty even so far in terms of destroyed value here for either player. King
The
is
only thing I will say
getting
is
killed actually.
the horse archer play. I'm not sure about. I mean, it does feel good just to go full cav comp, but against English, horse archers are not, the best option. I mean, right now he is going to be ahead eventually because he's on 3 TC and 5 relics, probably. I think the last 2 are coming back.
Yeah, he's gonna be at 5 relics.
But it's
Yeah.
the good idea, the right idea to kind of deny gold, put pressure on gold right now, because the big gold's on this side, and you can, because you have the mobility advantage, because of your comp, you can kind of make sure that you get minimal amount of gold in terms of English. Because right now, the only thing you can deny is gold, essentially, because once that gold runs out, and I think it's about to run out, yeah, 100, basically 100 gold left on the base, you need that outside gold.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why I also don't like the, I mean it's pretty standard I think to go into horse archers as Rus. Like that meta has been resurrected lately. Why I don't like it as much, especially against the English, is they do not get any bonus against spearmen, and so like yeah, it's great you have the mobility. And so you can definitely choose whenever you want to fight, but at some point you might want to
You're gonna
really have to get into a
Yeah.
siege battle, and then you have the issue that you actually need to face the English army, and you cannot run around because you will lose your siege then. And then you would need to have the bonus damage against the spearmen. So for now it works great, but at some point it might not work as great anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the only the only thing is that he does have a good advantage at this point, so maybe the horse archer can kind of pull it off. But I mean, horse archers versus English is just kind of, because the main idea of horse archers, especially for Rus in this meta, is to get that fast castle, get those great units, mobile units against fuel units, just to get all those relics. That's essentially what horse archers are for. And against man-at-arms or kind of stuff like that, kind of high-powered units. But he's doing a decent job. The problem is the spear. Yeah, I don't know about this.
Yeah, spears are getting on top of the knights. He basically lost all the knights by this point, and he went pretty heavily into the horse archers. Now moving into crossbows. But yeah, so yeah, kiting is great. He can do that all day with the horse archers, but again, they're not really doing any bonus damage against anything. So, and they're getting sniped out pretty easily by longbows. Luckily, there are no longbows here on the English side, but if they were, I think then the horse archers would be a pretty bad idea.
Yeah, I mean these are English men arms, so eventually you're gonna need crossbows. You can't just go with horse archers, so that's why I think he's gonna eventually switch in. He does have great income, so he's just gonna stick with knights, I guess, at this point, even with the comp that KGJ is going for, and he's just kind of trusting the relics and the 3TC play, kind of giving him enough income for that, I think. So maybe that's why he's just kind of making. The idea is just to make strong units because you have eco, right?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Although, I mean, looking at this eco income right now, it's not looking too good. I think he should have way more food income. I wonder if that just will
Yeah,
keep
he
fizzling
is
later.
right in the middle of a farm transition, I think, because the deer is starting to run out. We do
Yeah,
have some berries, so it doesn't have to be immediately, uh, but it's
yeah,
still a farm transition.
yeah, he is doing a farm transition right now, so like it will stabilize in a minute or two, and then he will be looking really good. And like he has the main benefit of not really needing to be heavily on gold, and so he can use the villagers for other things, as well as
Rallying
yeah
his
being on 3
crossbows.
TCs. Which again, okay, he is on 3 TCs. Why does he have so few?
I think his third TC has been idle, is it?
So
Yeah,
like
I
okay,
think
so his main TC is idle. His third TC is idle. His second TC has one more in queue, and then it's gonna be idle. So a little bit of a misplay you could say, I guess, on his part, not really using the potential of his multiple TC play.
yeah. Now we got some. Yeah, I think he's been having idle time because he should be, caught up with Vills at this point. I think.
Yeah. He should be at 100 villagers by now, I would say. So
Yeah.
a little bit of a misplay here on his part, but at the same time, he is winning in terms of fights here. Um, and he's definitely, like, looking at the bigger picture, long game, looking very strong with 5 relics. Also has one relic, one sacred site. He denied the second one. Is
Gonna
capturing
keep
one of
up on
them.
the top site, so he's gonna secure that top site
Yeah.
with the keep, and then kind of focus his military. He also has that wall going for him, so yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a big deal in terms of the idle time, but still not the end of the world at this point.
Yeah, and then again, he also has a lot of passive income,
Hmm.
which helps mitigate that issue. Plus, he has the bounty, which also increases his scatter rate. So overall, I would say his eco is still pretty much on par with the English eco. Um, and yeah, he's keeping the pressure up, making sure that KJJ doesn't have too much breathing room. Needs to put down some walls here, but then also leaving out some deer here.
Yeah, I mean, just yeah. Now, okay. I was thinking of what is he, planning on doing Warsp1te, but it looks like he's gonna age up. Now, this could be a bit of a definitely problematic in terms of the placement.
Placement might be a little bit problematic, that's true, yeah. I like the landmark choice, but yeah, the placement is a
He's
little
committing to it.
problematic. Yeah, he's definitely committing to that, and I mean, why not? You do have a couple of knights there. Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
now he's gonna.
he's not committing to
I
that.
wouldn't. There's no reason that the landmark has to go there. Go there. You need to survive in terms of the. Um, you're aging up. You need some time to kind of get your stuff set up.
Right.
The other thing is KGJ now knows you're aging up, so he's just gonna kind of be super aggro with the units that he has, and he has a good military advantage right now.
Yeah, he has a ton of crossbows, so he can easily get rid of all the knights that Warsp1te will throw in his way. And yeah, that's some very important info that he got from knowing that he would age up.
Yeah.
Also knowing what he would age up with is also interesting to know with the high armory. So he knows, okay, there is gonna come some siege, so yeah, he has some choices to make now himself, whether he will try to age up with the Berkshire Palace or now. Yeah, King Smurf, I do hope it's not going to be 1.5 hours of the game. We did have a couple games that scratched on the 1 hour mark.
It
So I
crashed on the 1 hour mark.
no, they scratched. Sorry, not crashed.
Okay, I was
Um,
like, oh no.
no. Well, I mean, my brain crashed at 1 hour, but not the game. Um, but I mean, regardless, like we're not getting there. For now, 23 minutes into the game, Imperial Age for Warsp1te coming up, High Armory, Berkshire Palace on the other side. Where is he gonna put that?
It's an
Oh,
aggro one.
very nice in the middle. Okay, yeah, I like the placement here for the Berkshire. Why not? You know, like, why would you really step off the gas here? Like, just put down the Berkshire Palace right there, keep up the pressure, and then just stream into your opponent's base. You got half the landmarks there already. You can just destroy everything. By the way, trying to get the monastery here. No tide bars here for Warsp1te yet. I mean, he doesn't have the resources for it anyway, but
Yeah.
if you can
I
get
think
down the monastery,
Warsp1te.
that would be nice.
I think Warsp1te was in a great position, but right now it might be difficult to. I mean, he still has the advantage. He just needs to kind of use, because he has access to his resources. It's fine. He has a decent farm transition going. It's not a big problem. He has his landmark down. Does he have a? Yeah, he has one siege workshop. So yeah, he just needs to be able to get that advantage in terms of the army. Because the thing about English is that you have such a good gold and food income, and that you have such strong men at arms, and of course the Berkshire is going to be great as well. Just kind of a really tough position to kind of be countered. It's easy to attack basically at this point with the Berkshire Palace as a staging ground.
Yeah, definitely. So I really like, again, I like the placement. It provides some nice vision as well. It even attacks the stable there, so it will be will will help him to maybe push himself to victory here. And then also, yeah, as you mentioned, so he already got enclosures. So that's gonna be really nice here. No, he is, yeah, he is
We got
researching that,
got
so
a
he's gonna get
crackerty.
enclosures.
We got a crackerty raid. Welcome Raiders. We're doing the finals. I think this is basically a third game. It's two wins for KJJ, and then this is the third game in the finals basically.
Yeah, it's a best of 5. Welcome, Crackety, you are here, and welcome the rest of the Raiders as well. So yes, as Yak was explaining, a best of 5 series. KJJ currently 2-0 up. English against Ruzon Gorge. Some very interesting Berkshire tactics here as well. Just firing away machine gun at the stable. But by the way, can we talk about? Well, he doesn't have the imp upgrades yet, so needs to. Well, doesn't have the gold either. So Warsp1te not really in a great position here at all in terms of
I
gold.
think he's been
actually.
using his gold for Streltsy, but I think a crossbow upgrade would definitely be a good idea at this point, because yeah, you need some advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. So crossbow upgrade would be nice for sure. Streltsies are gonna be super nice for him, and then you only have the horsemen. So question is, if you're having only the horsemen against the Chat at Arms, is that really a great front line?
Yeah. I think he has a good amount of stress shield. 23 with stress shield with 5 in Q, so it's a good amount of stress for Warsp1te, and he has a good food income. So I think the idea is just to go Streltsy Horseman, which is not a bad position right now. He does have keeps on 2 of the sites, so it might kind of split the attention needed to attack for KJJ. KJJ is pushing the keep though, so we'll see what.
He is trying to torch it down with the men at arms, and then the crossbows in the back providing some sort of mental support here as well. But where is Warsp1te's army?
It's just sitting in base because of the Berkshire, essentially, because he can't really rotate. And he is raiding with horsemen, so that's a good advantage for horsemen. He's going to be able to get the Trebs from KJJ, though. That might be a great pickup for him, right beside the Berkshire.
Yeah, but the pathing. Oh my goodness, that pathing is horrible. Just losing one of the horsemen just because he was running all around the Berkshire Palace. No, definitely not getting that trebuchet for sure. Oh man, what a brutal pathing.
Yeah, but the Berkshire's almost down, and this keep has been able to, s- stay for a while. The bombard emplacement has been doing work, so he doesn't actually need units on that side. The Berkshire is down right now. There's only one Treb, um, and then Warsp1te has 5 Trebs right now with a decent army. He has 36 Streltsy, so this
Wow.
push might be great from Warsp1te coming in.
Yeah, so that workshop that is gone, and Warspite was able to bide his time here and is flowing a lot of resources by now actually. So he could switch. Maybe it's is okay. So at some point he might get the crossbow upgrade, or he will just leave the. Maybe he's just planning on leaving the crossbows altogether and just going into Streltsies. That could also
Yeah,
be
I
an
think that's the
option.
play, or that's the idea right now. He's
Yeah.
not really doesn't really want crossbows. He wants and he's gonna actually go for a knight switch right now because his golden comes pretty decent. So he's basically going for the kill, I think, right now. He's gonna go for a siege. He has 5 trebs. He's going for the ultimate army comp. He's still going for his horseman right now, but he's preparing the knight transition. And basically, this army, you need, mass mangoes is kind of the only way to beat
Yeah.
this. Or longbows, I guess, but you can't really make that switch right now.
No, you can't really switch that. I mean, he is not even so. He doesn't even have the castle age longbows right
Yeah.
now. So I mean, there's no way for you to go into the crossbow into longbows here at this stage of the game. Um, Frontline is diminished though for Warspite, some more horsemen trickling in, but the Streltsies are just relentless units. They're just hammering away on, on the opponent's crossbows here. A little bit of a network of castles bonus here, but that's probably not going to be enough. Some more knights
Yeah.
coming in as well. So knights, horsemen, definitely a great front line here to take care of the crossbows. And once this is done, there's not really much anything left here on KJJ's
No.
side.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's the trebs are doing work. Slow push with the keep, and it's just the ultimate army in terms of the value. Warspite both has the numbers and also has the insane value advantage, because most of his army is Streltsy, and he's going for that mass knights right now. So it's going to be a double. Super expensive army, and he doesn't really even need to go fast. He has the trebs. He's trebbing down all the landmarks. He's got the white tower down also, so he can actually just dive the base at this point. I don't know how KGJ is going to be able to come back from this.
Yeah, you see all the trebuchets here, fortunately, yeah, throwing boulders at the Abbey of Kings. You can just stay at this position and then just slowly push ahead here. And yeah, I don't see any way for KJJ to get back to this.
Yeah.
Both players are around 1,800 MMR, I believe. So
Yeah.
very good players. Conqueror 3, very high up there. Um, so yeah, definitely, yeah, high level play. This is the finals of the Warchief Club, so whoever makes it to the finals definitely is not a shabby player at all. And so
Exactly.
yeah, we can see, so Kings, Abbey of Kings being destroyed, now the White Tower, and then he might even skip the town center because it doesn't matter anymore and then go for the main one, just go for the final kill here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no food income at this point for KJJs because the farms are going to be idle as well,
That's all
and
idle out there.
GG gets called.
Yeah. Wow, that was a very interesting turn of events. Like
Yeah.
Warspite didn't look too good when the Berkshire Palace came up, but he was able to just to be patient and then just wait a little bit more and then push ahead and then somehow his eco completely skyrocketed and there was simply no way for KJJ to,
It-
to get back from that. Even though it kind of still was close, like it was a very close game. kind of a nail biter back and
Can we
forth.
look at
So
the villager count? Because I'm kind of wondering how, in terms of the idle situation, it was. Because because I feel like, yeah, I know, I
it
can't
wasn't
really
even
tell,
that
but
bad. Okay, so it wasn't that long apparently because it doesn't. It looks. I mean,
yeah,
it was behind for most of the game, but it wasn't like terribly behind. And it lost a couple ones, but it stabilized as well. And that was
yeah,
at the
but
very end, so it doesn't like.
you see, KJJ's slope is basically just consistent. KJJ has no idle time, but
Mhm.
Warspite has a good amount of idle time because that's 3 TC. So he basically remembers to. I mean, it's fine at this point because it's already by the time he gets um, Imp, it's a same villager count plus the 5 relics, so that's already a great situation to be in. And Warspite just had a plan. He wanted to go Imp, get that Streltsy mask going, and then do a big push, especially because he has this siege going for him too. So he had a plan, stuck to it, and it worked out for him. As I see the matchup.
Yeah, isn't that something? So the good thing is we're not gonna see a 1 hour game,
You
right?
never know. It might be a 3 TC versus trade or
I'm
something.
sorry.
I don't know.
Okay, a little bit of a... Okay, so it's gonna be Hill and Dale, French against Mongols, KJJ playing with the Mongols. I've seen some Mongol games by KJJ already. He's very familiar and very comfortable with the Mongols, that's for sure. Against Warspite playing the French on the north side.
Yeah, I mean, this is another situation where, uh, just like the first game, Ayyubids versus Delhi, is kind of just a hard matchup for French. You know, especially on this map where Mongols can go for the tower rush and then trade behind it, and while denying your goal essentially. So
Hmm.
it is difficult, especially because of the spawn right now. KG has a great spawn in terms of he doesn't really need the Gur for the gold. He can go around picking up, he can go to the deer pretty quickly
Hmm.
after he gets enough, wood for the barracks. He has that nice wood line. He has back gold. Everything's set up for him. Essentially, he's going to go for that barracks and tower rush. I assume the tower's just going to be on gold, but we'll see.
Yeah, it could be a tower rush. 3 on wood right now doesn't seem to be enough for a tower rush, but we're gonna see. So he didn't scout it yet, but he's gonna make his way over to the base shortly, picking up some sheep of his opponent. Very nice. Now he finds the gold, so it's gonna be a little bit exposed here. So he can easily walk around here. He could place down a tower if he wanted to. Um, Potentially also covering parts of this forward wood line, which doesn't really matter that much to French. They can just go here. Um, but yeah, he will definitely he would be in a position to do that. Um, with 3 on, yeah, okay, it actually looks like a tower rush here. Okay, so we're gonna see a tower
Yeah,
rush.
yeah. 3 on wood is kind of the build basically for a tower. 3 on wood is plenty for. Basically, you get 2 sets of spears. You can even go for a third spear and then a double set for a
Mm,
5 spear full thing. That's kind of like the most guaranteed in terms of the safest. Max out your tower kind of thing. But 3 wood is plenty for a tower basically. And then you get just enough for 5 spears, 2 sets of 2, 1 normal spear full price, and then 100 for the tower. And then you basically switch to age up. But yeah, it's 3 on wood is kind of what you do in terms of tower rush. But it looks like, yeah, the gold. Um, we'll see what Warspite does in response. Just looks like a kind of fast age up.
yeah, definitely. Looking like well, okay, so the thing is, I was under the impression that you would have to have 4 on wood for some reason. I'm really not sure why. It always feels like 3 is not enough, but yeah, you're totally right. With 1 single spearman, then you have 2 more coming out, so you have 5 spearmen there. And then you're still fine with... I mean, okay, so I guess if you would have to... If you want more towers, and then like
Yeah,
extend
yeah.
it
Then
would
then you.
then you would need more.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
then you kind of leave the 3 on wood. You just kind of leave it longer because
yeah.
you want you want a
Oh,
good food income so that you can actually make a decent amount of spears so you can protect your tower
um,
basically. So initially, you definitely want not more than 3 on wood for sure.
why did the game just crash? Did it crash
The
for you as
game.
well?
I'm in the game still.
Interesting. It just blacked out here for me. Okay,
I.
that's
Or
very
I guess I
unfortunate.
can.
Okay, I'll go back to the lobby, restart the game, just be sure. I've never had that happen. That's really weird.
Yeah, I mean the game seems to be fine in terms of the for the players and for me. So maybe it's just, but I can meanwhile I can tell you guys what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
So
Lead us.
basically, basically we got 5 on Age Up for Silver Tree for KJJ. Let's continue on the counting path of things. The tower's up on gold. No gold for Warspite. Sag. We got an archer range to prevent further towers, but it looks like KJJ is not going for further towers. Um, but also another development is that Warspite actually, unfortunately, lost his scout to TC along with 3 sheep. So another Sage moment. But let's see how. Anyways, yeah, Warspite is kind of walling up at this point. And then for stable for KJJ, I'll make sure to keep you guys updated.
I
We got
have
a
no
stable.
idea what just happened. Like it wasn't even like I didn't get an error message. The game just blacked out, and then I got back to the lobby, and it said that you left my group because yeah, you're obviously still in game. So that is really weird. Okay.
Is your internet and everything working? Are you able to come back or should?
Well, yeah, it's totally fine. Like
Oh, okay.
I'm just restarting the game shortly. Like I restarted the game. Let's see if when as soon as I can observe the match, I will just switch it back, and then I'll probably yeah I'll also let's see. I'll
Well,
stream my
meanwhile,
view.
I think KJJ accidentally pulled all his bills except one from the age up, and he just realized it and he put back 6 villagers. So his age up's a little delayed, but he's got the stable. Warspite's got a horseman and 4 archers on the field. It looks like Warspite's going for. I don't know if I should be saying. Maybe are we gonna go back behind it a little bit and then continue?
Well, okay, so I'm speeding forward a little bit here just to keep up. Which again, like I really don't know what just happened. To your question, King Smurf, I did pay my internet bill, which is the reason why I can still talk to you. So it wasn't my internet, it wasn't my electricity bill. Apparently everything was just fine. Okay, pause it here. So I'm back at 3 minutes and 5 seconds. I also did share the screen with you so you could see where I'm at right now, 3 minutes and
Hmm.
12. So we do have the HF, School of Cavalry coming up still. But yeah, so that's something. So let's see how it turns out. So you know more than I do actually right now because I haven't even watched that. So
I guess I
please
spoiled a
don't
little bit of
spoil.
it, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, so we're
I mean
seeing
it's not.
classic Mongol tower rush against classic French cavalry play here. Doesn't have enough gold for the knight, unfortunately. Or does it? No, it's 100 gold, right?
Yeah, it's just 100. I think
Yeah.
it should be fine.
Yeah. Okay, so one knight, but I mean one knight against 5 spearmen doesn't feel great. Getting a little bit of resources here, and yeah,
I
villager
mean,
just
you
going
can
back.
go for essentially an eco upgrade, maybe a wheelbarrow or a another upgrade, or you can go for a knight. But I think I did spoil a little bit, but he goes for the horseman.
Yeah, no, well, he actually is going for for the horseman actually. So he could go for a knight, but he is going for a horseman instead. So interesting to see that. Silver Tree is coming up, so Hill and Dale being a very good map for trading. Um, although as I'm saying, well it should fit, yeah. So Silver Tree will fit in here in the corner, then you can scout nicely around. Do you see what I'm seeing with the mill in the back of the Mongol space?
Um, yes, I think what's happening is trying to keep the sheep, but
Right.
eventually he's gonna give. I think it was just kind of a. It's not gonna last, so it's not gonna be a problem. He just lost a scout there, so
Right, yeah.
usually you don't want to do that, but I think it's just kind of a. Um, yeah, now you can get it because you can just put it in terms of illegal mill.
Ah,
Exactly. You don't have a permit for that mill. We
that is
cancel
so
the mill,
funny.
and we're good.
Wow, that is so funny. Okay, I've never seen that. Very nice top level play here on either side, basically. But instead, we're gonna probably see a mill right around here. What are the options for French? So, I mean, it is really annoying to get your gold denied, and since it's Hill and Dale, all the other golds are out on the map. So yeah, you do have the one horseman that can potentially harass a little bit here, but
Yeah, like I said, KJJ I think accidentally pulled his vills off of the Egypt, so his Egypt's a little slow. So he's not going to be getting up. I think he's going to realize and he's going to
it
put
takes
a good
forever.
amount of vills, so he'll be fine. But
Yes,
the one horseman is able to slow down the stable, and then he has to make another spear. So meanwhile, what's it called? Warspite's on stone, so he's going to go for the second TC, which is, it's a good play because especially he's been able to wall up properly. He has the deer secured, so he's just going to put a TC down there, I would assume.
yeah, and I mean, if you're playing against Mongols, I mean the Kashyyyks are not really that great. So like, I mean, I like them, but they're not super strong. So if you're going horseman archers, you're generally fine. And then also you can anticipate that your opponent is going Silver Tree. I think I even spotted that out. Um, yeah, no, the TC is not fitting in here. That's for sure. He would have to move some of them. But yeah, since you know that your opponent is gonna trade, you need to find some kind of equal way to boom. And so second TC is always a good option to counter the trade in a way.
Yeah, I mean, more villagers is always easier to protect than trade. But Mongols, that's where they excel, right? Especially on this map, trade. Now, um, I don't want to get ahead of myself because I need to pause this. But so double TC, and then you can basically, because you have good cav. Now, Keshiks, you said they're not ideal, but they're not great. But I think they're, because you can mass them up so much, especially because you have great gold income, they can be very good for you, especially in Mongols. Actually, that's kind of one of the things that I really liked about the switch when they made from just regular horsemen to Keshik, because it just makes sense, right? You have gold income, you got to use it. You want a kind of knight situation, but you probably don't want a fiddle knight. Might be a little too strong. But Keshiks I just fits the playstyle of Mongols. But as I said, the 2TC French is still a pretty good boom, so you're gonna have a really good villager advantage. You just have to be able to do damage on the trade, essentially.
Yeah, you can't really let your opponent boom away on the trade. And we see the horseman is already here, um, scouting or like guarding the market. Good eye, Smurf. Good to have you here. Outpost being constructed here as well, so might clash at some point. And so yeah, the interesting thing as well with the Kashik is in low numbers they're not really great, and in high
Hmm.
numbers they're also not really great because they just like they stumble over themselves. But in like medium numbers, sort of, they are really great fighting units. And then yeah, as you mentioned, it just fits the playstyle of Mongols, being annoying, being on the go, on the attack, torching, attacking, burning things, and then healing up by doing that. So I think it was definitely a great addition. In my taste, they could be a little bit stronger, but it's just my personal preference. But also then they would have to be a little bit more expensive too.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
think the other thing is because basically you have a good initial kind of power spike with the Uvu, so you can get double cash shakes and stuff like that and put some pressure. And then once the trade is set up, especially because Mongols doesn't have doesn't have walls. You basically have towers to see. Keshiks is really great because you're gonna have more Keshiks than the opponent has knights, so you can respond to that threat. Before Keshiks, you just kind of had to send spears and a horseman, and it was just kind of a annoying situation. But the other thing about Keshiks is once you get a mass of them, and then your trade is relatively strong, and then you do that age up timing, you get the upgrade, the castle age upgrade, and also the unique upgrade where their attack speed, in terms of the healing attack speed, kind of goes up. Then they become pretty good in castle. They used to be not great in castle, and it's still probably not the best unit to make in castle in terms of the big fights, but they kind of switched that upgrade from, I think it's called Step Lancers, right?
Step Lancers, and they moved it so that the improved version is still in Imperial Age, but they had moved like shortly after they introduced the Keshik, they moved that to Castle Age, and I think that was really important. So like before that, they didn't really feel great, but it was like like what else can you do? You have Horsemen and you have like your Lancer version, so you have to go for them. But with the Step Lancers, it feels really great actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like Keshik. Great unit, great rating unit especially, and kind of cheap as well to mass up as we talked. Warsp1te moving out on the map, so yeah, his first gold is being denied here, so he needs to go out on the second gold, protecting it heavily with 2 outposts, and then just his unit mass here. Keshik trying to get in, getting killed by the spearman here, being embraced sort of by the spearman.
I mean, Warsp1te did a good job of ignoring the tower and then kind of focusing on his eco, and he put himself in a decent position. Now he can secure the gold and kind of go from there. But the only problem is now you have full length trade from the Mongols and not much pressure. Your army comp is Spearman Archer, and the Mongols is going to be able to age up and kind of make counter units, and you're going to have the Chlorotide to be able to push, and he's going to pull off deny gold essentially, which could be pretty problematic. And the other thing is, Warsp1te doesn't really have any upgrades other than double rod axe, and as French, that's kind of one of your advantages. You're going to be able to get all of your upgrades very cheap, very early. That is the only problem with that tower and the gold denial essentially.
Yeah, I mean, he could go a lot heavier on gold right now here, and then he would be able to mitigate that issue, but yeah, perfectly described the situation here, and so the issue that some lower level players make is trying to react to the tower too quickly and then investing heavily into attacking that, losing a lot of villages and all that, and he just played around that, got a second TC up, now he's getting his gold upgrade up, getting some military attacks as well. So overall, he will
might be me,
fine,
but
hopefully.
I think Warsp1te is idling TC a little bit. But I feel like the villager count should be a lot better than this. I've been checking once in a while, and sometimes it's idle. But 58, 51. There's only one trade. KJ is only trading from the silver tree, so it shouldn't really be that much in terms of trade. Now, double TC French, of course, you have that faster villagers, so it should be a lot of villagers. I think it's not too bad, but sometimes Warsp1te is idling, and that might be costing him. Now we have the Cruel Tie coming up, and it's going to be, harder to take this fight eventually.
Yeah, so once the Cruel Tie comes up, getting the healing, getting the bonus damage here for the archers, for the Keshik, that's going to be very, very nice. And then you can even contest the Spearman, and once the Spearman run out, you still have a couple Keshik. They are Castle Age, by the way, now already, so they can easily clean that up here. To your earlier point, I mean, we do have LAA traders already here, which accounts for the numbers here as well. And so that actually might be the reason. I don't know if Warsp1te idle out his TC, that might be, but the silver tree definitely being one of the reasons why it's not that big of a gap here right now. Should go for the superior mobility at some point, because this is super slow. This is annoyingly slow. I mean, just look at
as Mongols, you want to even go for the improved mobility, and then you can actually run your run your Kurultai away if it's in danger or stuff like that. So it's a lot, and also especially because the opponent will try to kind of prevent it from being set up. So the mobility is really important. So you want to be able to set that up real quick.
Yeah, especially like if you go for a surround with the superior
Mhm.
mobility, you can actually outrun your opponents. So yeah, that was a disaster for sure, and losing a lot of units, which is really not necessary right now. I mean, he is an age ahead. He can just mess up units, and then he can easily clean that out. Um, Spearman there as well in the mix. Only Dark Age, Fuel Age Spearman though. So not really helpful here at all in dealing with the archers. Trying to get onto the villagers, a little bit of idle time here as well. Finding one villager as well, but yeah, just so much damage being done here. And where's the archers to deal with the spearmen? So I think he pulled the gun too quickly. He should have been a little bit more patient, I think, and yeah, not maybe
Yeah.
pull the trigger here so quickly.
Yeah, I mean the other thing is spear archer. There is, you have one barracks. I think you probably want to do some men at arms from there as well, and you want to probably go men at arm archer maybe at least initially. You don't want to do too many Keshiks because he's just Warspite is just basically doing the mass spears and archers behind it.
Yeah, and so the thing is like, well, KJJ does have 5 archer rangers. He does have quite a lot of stone as well to double produce. So he should go, yeah, he's double producing some archers here, but the numbers are just not there. Just 2 in queue basically right now. Um, does have 2 stables as well as 1 barracks. Um, but not really, I mean, he does have the range defense, but other than that, doesn't really have any upgrades.
Yeah.
And yeah, now we have the
I mean,
issue. The Kurta is trying to get away, but he might as well go for the surround here. He might manage. Yeah, there you go. The dancing Kurotai. Yeah, not looking too good for the Mongols actually. Even though the early game was looking quite promising, but this is something you hate to see with the Kurotai being not helpful at all right now. Luckily for him, the archer numbers do get up in time, so he is able to survive with the Kurotai, but it also cost him half his health. 13 traders so far. So yeah, eco numbers kind of even right now. Army value is pretty even. So overall, Mongols still pretty good into the game. Still 1 age ahead. So, but I mean, as
yeah,
I'm
but
saying that, Warspite is able to get up to the next age pretty soon if he wants to.
yeah, and he gets rid of he's able to get rid of that tower, so he does have some safe gold. He also is out on the map with the second gold on the bigger gold. He's probably just trying to sneak it, and he has some army to defend it. Now KJ can do a good push, but one thing is that I think KJ should probably add a market just to get that trade more beefed up, because his trade is not taking any damage. The French army is very immobile. It's spearman archer. So you just want to kind of double down on that trade just to keep your eco pumping, because French has double TC, so he's actually able to out eco you eventually. Now the tech advantage is a big deal. Is a good timing for KJJ on this attack, but he is making men at arms, so it could be difficult for Warspite to deal with this army. He needs to age up and kind of pump crossbows and I don't know, maybe men at arms of his own or knights or something.
Yeah, at the same time, so Warspite is getting into the eco with a lot of spearmen. So KJJ needs to put some attention with some archers onto
Oof.
his trade line. The outpost got just denied
Yeah,
there.
he's not moving his trade. A lot of traders are dying. That is your eco advantage. You have 12 traders at this point.
Yeah,
And
he
that's not
lost.
a ton of
No,
traders.
he lost a good handful here. So a good handful. Yeah, that's like close to 10 traders that he lost. Is now adding some archers, men at arms. So good at dealing here with the spearmen, but just needs more outposts here as well. One outpost with arrow slits is not gonna be enough to distract 15 spearmen from running into your base. At the same time, KJJ is finding quite a lot of eco damage here as well, killing some villagers, 19 villager kills so far, 20, 21. So that is looking good. Arbalatrice in the mix here as well for the French. Being able to
Yeah, I mean
deal with the man-at-arms and cash it pretty effectively.
the military advantage, you know, is to the Mongols, but yeah, I don't know how he lost 21 villages. Where that was? Oh, maybe it's raids on the deer and stuff like that. But I thought Warsp1te was doing a pretty good job in terms of concentrating his eco behind the wall on the bottom side of his base, on the other side of the base where his guild hall is. And KJ attacked from the top side, which there's not much there, but I think maybe right when he attacked, he was able to get a lot of vill kills on the initial gold or something like that, because that is a lot of damage. KJ is actually putting up some towers on all the golds. He's basically checking all the golds, trying to deny gold. Is a good play from him, because he's going to be able to see that the Warsp1te is on that top gold at this point.
Yeah, definitely a good play here. Building the tower here is gonna be in range as soon as he gets the arrow slits, so that's gonna be denied, at least for the time being. Yeah, he did find a couple villagers while they were running over to the berries on the north side here. So finding a couple of good picks there. Kurultai unfortunately not being in the fight, so he had to retreat from this base. Also regrouping here and securing the trade a little bit more, getting rid of those pesky spearmen. Does have a shaman out on the field somewhere, trying to snag a relic. Not sure.
Yeah, the relics have been uncontested for a little bit. Now, it makes sense for Warsp1te because he's kind of been on the back foot in terms of trying to age up, in terms of timing. But KJJ is just getting working towards the relics at this point. Now, KJJ has around 17 traders, which is decent. But yeah, I just feel like the French eco should be a little better, but maybe that's just kind of me overestimating the French. Because it's 17 seconds per villa, right?
Right.
At this point, it's not. It hasn't been insane trading from Mongols, but it looks like the income and the army advantage is immense, huge right now.
Yeah, I get your point, but then again, he also killed 23 villagers.
Yeah, that's probably why. So now I remember
that's probably the main reason for that. And yeah, you also mentioned like maybe there was some idle time there with the TCs as well. Even the best of players can sometimes, in the heat, in the middle of the battle, forget to build or to produce some villagers. Especially if you're running low on food, as we're seeing right now here. Speaking about running low on food, the Mongols are looking pretty beefy here.
Yeah, now he's set up. I think he might
age up.
The other, there's two problems with the French right now. His gold is denied. He has no other gold other than the gold in his base, which KJ is attacking right at that spot, and all the golds is KJ is aware of them. Warsp1te would have been great for him to be able to do a night transition, but he's not able to do that, both because of gold and because of the food income that he has. Now, he does have the guild hall, but there's only 500 in there, and this Kurultai archer mass is going to be a problem. It's directly at his production as well.
Yeah, the buffed up Kurultai archers, that's not fun to fight against, even with the 15 villager TC at his face, with the healing and the bonus damage that they get. It's just super nice. And yeah, as I'm saying that and going back from the cinematic view, Warsp1te taps out. Has done a good job, I think, with fighting back at the right time and doing quite a lot of damage as well, but not enough, just not enough to deal with the super annoying and super cool Mongols.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a little bit of it looks like it might be vill kills, but I feel like no, this is initially it is idle time because the KJJ's villager graph is always consistent, but it looks like Warsp1te does have I mean, he does great in terms of building the TCs. He's got
Hmm.
TCs. The previous game he had 3 TCs. This game he has a. It's actually a good play. I mean, he dealt with the tower rush very well. He got the TC up really quick, compared to KJJ's what's it called, trade setup. So
Yeah.
everything was going great, but maybe a few of those idle time, and also in this matchup, French Knights is a huge plus because you can actually kill so many trades with that. Now, Warsp1te was able to kill traders with spears, but eventually the lack of gold, then because if you don't have gold, then the Mongols player can mass those archers, and the cruel tie with archers is insane in terms of you need a lot of knights and maybe like siege or something to be able to counteract that.
Yeah, yeah. So just a couple of horsemen are not gonna cut it. The archers can fight pretty comfortably against most anything under the cool tide.